Alright, I had to stop the stream. Hopefully it'll catch up. There we go. Alright. Alright, we are back on the dev server. Taking a look at the MiG 19 PT. Sorry about that, guys. That was the same problem we had last time. Wow, this is loud. Yeah, we'll take a look at the premiums. Damn, this is still loud. Can't even hear myself talk over this. Okay, so the acceleration feels insane. As to be expected, right? The new supersonic jets. Look at the acceleration on the indicator airspeed. That is just insane. Yeah, even through all the weird flight models that we've had over the years, I've never felt anything this fast. Look at 140 K. This is the cockpit view, by the way. There may be a few problems on the dev server. Just gun sounds good. And to be expected, I ripped on that hard turn. Yeah, I just wanted to look at the cockpit view, and unfortunately, that's kind of bugged out. At the 15, this is the premium one. I want to look at the pen on the rockets. Yeah, you do get bombs. That's a lot of penetration on the S5K. Not so much there. 150 millimeters. That's pretty crazy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Italians. Do they get any airplanes? I would assume that they do. You go to the RE20 or 2001 CN. A very dark camouflage. 2 20 millimeters and 2 12.7s. You get a 250 kilogram bomb as an option. Rank 3, battle rating 3.3. Is this set to RB? Yeah, it is set to RB. So 3.3 BR. The SM91, an attacker. Tier 4, battle rating 4.7. It's got 6 20 millimeters. Has some obvious, it reminds me of the P-38 quite a bit. Not just from the forked tail, but also the nose and everything. Got a turret with a 20 millimeter cannon. Get a couple of bombs. Small bombs, 50 and 100 kilogram bomb options. I'm not going to focus too much on the aircraft, but let's get into the tanks. You check out the tanks after the planes. Right now I'm going to do nation by nation to check out the new vehicles. You got the AB. Why does that picture look like a tiger? I think it is a tiger. I could be mistaken. Because this is definitely not a Tiger. Rank 1, 1.0. I'm expecting a lot of wheeled vehicles. Man, doesn't that look cute? Flat armor, easy to kill. Too bad the headlights don't work. Modifications. Wow, 2mm pen. 29. 64, so it's got HVAP. That's cute as hell. What kind of camouflage do they get? I would imagine these are going to be pretty much identical all throughout the Italian tech tree. Winter spotted. You know, I'm not a big fan of this particular camo because of how much green is in it. I like some more white in it. It's one of the reasons I like some of the newer winter camouflages that are in the British, or excuse me, the Japanese. The L6. Another cute little guy. 20mm Beretta. .30mm armor. Yeah. Battle rating 1.3. We're not expecting a whole lot, right? Same gun, I believe. Same ammunition. The AB-43. Battle rating 2.0. Got a different looking standard camouflage for it. Let's take this off for a test drive. Yeah, they're all Tigers. They screwed up the preview image somehow, but it's the dev server. It's okay. Long reload, longer than I expected, I guess. Of course, they didn't put it on the crew, so that does help or hurt. Decently fast, considering it doesn't have all the upgrades. Well, actually, I might have it set to, I think I have that set to, so that it takes into effect all the upgrades, even though I don't have them all. The Beretta 501, Tank Destroyer, rank 3, battle rating 4.0. It's got a 90mm cannon. Open top, easy to kill from with aircraft. You'll probably be able to ram this thing if you run out of bombs and rockets and machine guns. Frontal armor is 40mm. That shield is 30. Excuse me. Ammunition is predominantly stored in the back. What kind of penetration do you get with the gun? 94, right up close. It is APCBC. HE is 13mm. Then it gets an additional APCBC shell with max penetration to 113. .7 reload. -4 gun depression. That's not great. .53 kilometers an hour though. That's pretty quick. Then we got the Fiat 6614. Battle rating 6.7. Wow. That's that's a funky looking tank. That's got BMP written all over it, doesn't it? Wonder if it's gonna bounce as many HEATFS shells as the BMP does. 8mm thick armor. Four-man crew, got ammunition all over in the back half. 13-second reload, -10 on the gun depression. Max speed 100 kilometers an hour. Okay, so we're gonna have to try that. Rank 4 is locked. I already have everything. What are you doing, game? We can't. Unfortunately, we can't test this out because it's bugged. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Let's go back into the modifications. I want to look at the penetration on this. First is a heat grenade. Max pen of 381. Still got pretty good penetration even at steeper angles. And of course you have hash. 152. 160, 170 as the angle gets steeper. That's interesting. Yeah, this could be fun. 100 kilometers an hour. I want to test that out. Unfortunately, it's bugged. Can't actually research or can't actually test that. Next up, we have the R3. Wow. Oh my god. Looks like a spaceship. Holy shit. 84 kilometers an hour. 13-second reload. -7 gun depression. 6.7 again. Armor is still... well, it's 33. 30 up top. And 4 guys crammed in there like sardines. Same ammunition. Great ammunition, actually. Any new? No, it's just wow. Not very much. Not very many camouflage options. I like this one. Get a proper winter camouflage where it's almost all completely white. Go with the AUBL-40, or excuse me, 74. Battle rating 7.0, and it's still rocking the 90mm. Wow. 100 kilometers an hour. Okay, we're gonna test this. It only weighs 8 tons. What kind of armor does it have? No armor, basically. X-ray ammo rack is down here on the bottom right as you're facing it. Got a little ring of ammo here, which reminds me of the STA. Let's see, first shell is HEATFS with 300mm a pen. Next shell is hash 102. Then you get a smoke option. And since this is a light tank, apparently it also gets scouting and airstrike capabilities. I want to test this out. 100 kilometers an hour. Let's see, reference, yes. I want to see how fast we can get this going. You have a feeling Italians are going to be garbage? It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Let's see what the acceleration is like. Acceleration is pretty darn good, as you can probably imagine from an 8-ton tank. Yeah, it does remind me a little bit of an RE-251, but the gun is not very stable at all in this terrain. Turret rotation is pretty good. I'm only getting 40 kilometers an hour on this field. You probably have to go down a hill or be on something like Advanced to the Rhine on a long stretch of road to get anywhere near 100 kilometers an hour. This is nowhere close to 100. But it is fast. I'll give it that. Got a good brake. Ammo works well as well, so. Yeah, this is going to be easy to kill. And I forgot to mention, 9.7 second reload, -9 on gun depression. So, actually pretty reasonable. It also gets smoke grenades. I didn't show that. Yeah, smoke grenades, and of course you get smoke shells as an unlock. All that at 7.0 battle rating, tier 5. Next up we have the Centauro. At battle rating 7.7, tier 5. 105mm gun, 8.7 second reload, 110 kilometers an hour. Man, that looks interesting. First ammunition is APDS, with just over 300mm of pen up close. You get Hesh. And last but not least is Heat FS. Heat FS is a rank 4 modification unlock. It does get a laser rangefinder. That's fairly rare at a 7.7 BR to get a laser rangefinder. And 8.70 of the Centauro Romar. It's a tank destroyer, which looks awfully similar to the other one. You get an extra wheel here on the back. 110 kilometers an hour, 8.7 second reload, -6 vertical. Almost all these vehicles have pretty much the same armor, right around 30 to 40mm of armor. This one does get ERA. Not that I would imagine it's going to do much good, because at 8.7 you're going to see a lot of APFSDS. Yeah, the Tiger images are just placeholders. They'll get this fixed up. It is just the dev server after all. Everything's subject to change. Things will get fixed and patched and whatnot. Lots of ammunition in the background, or in the back of the tank. We get lots of, including APFSDS here as a tier 4 modification. We start off with APDS, which is 303 as the previous ones have been. You can get Hesh, Heat FS, APFSDS, which is 385 at max pen, which is pretty darn good, and a smoke shell. Laser rangefinder. There's no smoke launchers, so if you need smoke, you have to shoot it out of your gun. Go ahead and test this out. Drive this around. I'm the only one finding or streaming this. I tried to get on as soon as I heard about it. That back wheel, it's kind of distracting. It kind of catches my eye every time I look down. Get a nice stabilizer here. Yeah, this is going to get played a lot. The only issue I see having is that the gun is mounted so far back on the chassis that if you're in a city situation like advance to the run, which I'm getting a lot lately. I don't know about you guys, but you can't peek around the corner without someone just kind of cheesing a shot into your front of your hull. And I don't know if this has hull break or not, but even if it doesn't, that's gonna be easy death. You can get burned down, I assume, by a shot into your transmission or engine here, which is located in the front. It's going to be some frustrating deaths, I would imagine, with this. And some of the other vehicles are much like this one. Do I think this will have a better release than the French did? Honestly, I think the French did pretty well. I don't play a lot of French or France because I kind of got tired of it after a while. But I thought the French release was pretty good. If anything, some of their tanks were improperly tiered, like the auto loaders. Those have been changed, and the battle ratings have been changed. The mechanics of the drum magazines have been changed. It's been an interesting journey. Next, we have the M14 medium tank, battle rating 1.7. Again, back with the cute little guys with flat armor. 6-second reload, negative 15 gun depression, 33 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I'm not going to actually test drive these little guys. Next up we have the P40, which is, I would imagine, just like the premium P40. Even though I've got the premium one, I haven't actually taken it out yet. I should probably do that soon. 6.7 or 6.5 second reload, negative 10 gun depression. This thing plays like a T-34, like a Soviet T-34. It's a good tank. You got APCBC. Here's your primary round. Then you can upgrade to a heat shell, which gives you a max penetration of 100 millimeters. Then you have high explosive, which only has 9 millimeters, so that's only going to be useful against SPAA. Frankly, if you're going up against SPAA, just use heat, aim for the engine block, and you'll one-shot them most of the time. Armor, 50 millimeters, but it's well sloped, 45 degrees. It's a pretty trolley tank to some extent. Okay, ammunition is kind of spread out along the perimeter. Get a bunch here down on the bottom. Also got some on the side. Kind of reminds me of just about every tank, but particularly the German Panthers and Tigers. Next up, we have the M4 Tipo. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly. IC, medium tank, rank 3, 4.7 battle rating. That's an interesting looking design. And some of the Shermans, this area here protrudes and is almost flat, and is an easy shot. This has a different design. It's like a combination of different Shermans. I'm not particularly familiar with this version, but you get the 76 millimeter quick firing 17-pounder cannon. Let's take a look at the shells that this gets. AP, which gets 160 mils a pen. HE, 9 millimeters, not great. APC, 171 with APCBC. So you don't get APHE. This is starting to remind me of the Super Sherman from the French. See, 171. I don't remember what that Super Sherman is. So forgive me. Again, if you didn't see this, we have a new interface down here where we change nations. This hasn't changed in I don't know how many years. Here's the Super Sherman. 180 on the Super Sherman. So the Super Sherman's got a little bit better pen. But still, that's a damn good gun, regardless. Take a quick look at the armor. 50 millimeters, but it's angled at 52 degrees. Not going to be good enough to survive much. You have to angle it as you do with most Shermans. 76 in the side of the turret, 38 in the mantlet. As usual, all the ammunition is stored on the floor. 5 crew members. No smoke launchers, but you do get the smoke shell. Yeah, I can imagine, I can see myself playing this a lot. I like the Shermans at this BR. I don't like the earlier ones on the Americans. Next we have the M46A1. Looks like we got a new name for the M26 Yeti or Yeti. I don't know how to pronounce that. This one is at 6.7 by BR. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Sherman is my favorite, or excuse me, the Pershing. I don't know if I've been calling this the wrong tank or not. This is the Pershing is my favorite tank in the game. So the fact that the Italians are getting 2, I love this. I want to see what's unique about the gun. Okay, so you get a longer gun, I think. 'Cause I don't, well, that pen's higher than I remember. Look at that APCR, 271. That is crazy. And you can fire smoke. No smoke launchers on the turret. I gotta look at this. Now it's got me rethinking. Okay, so it does have better pen, but not by much. Okay, just a few more millimeters of pen than the regular 90mm M26 Pershing. Still got the 9.7 second reload, negative 10 gun depression. I'm excited if you can't tell. We have the M47 with a 105mm gun. So the 90 is gone. That's interesting. The armor, I believe, is the same. It looks the same, at least profile anyway. Lots of ammunition on the floor, as well as in the ring here. 8.7 second reload, negative 5 gun depression, sadly. I really wish the M47 had better gun depression. First shell, APDS, 303 mils a pen. You get Hesh, 127. And lastly, we get HeatFS with 400mm of pen. And that's at 7.7. You don't get smoke shells or smoke launchers. I don't know how I feel about this. Nothing too exciting, I guess. The OF-40. That looks like a leopard. An awful lot like a leopard. 65 kilometers an hour. 8.7 second reload. Negative 9 gun depression. Not a whole lot of armor, but the turret design looks like a Leopard 2K. Wow, that's a brick of ammo. But just, you need a sign on here, just don't shoot me here. And we get spaced armor here along the perimeter on the sides, not on the face. Okay. 105mm gun, same ammunition as with the M47, so you get APDS, Hesh, and HeatFS, although you do get smoke. Laser rangefinder. No smoke launchers though. Battle rank 8.0. Do we get any new camouflages here? We get a tricolor late. It's a pretty dark color. A late desert, I like that. And winter is almost pure white, except for the side skirt area here. That should It should allow you to blend in some of those winter maps. Although we don't seem to have very many winter maps, I noticed. Next up we have the OF-40 Mark IIA, 8.7 BR. That is a big light. Reminds me of the Panther II, obviously. 65 kilometers an hour. Basically all the same stats. Same gun, you do get the DM23 APFSDS shell. Smoke. And laser rangefinder. Smoke grenades as well. Let's take a look at this. We haven't driven a tank out in a while. So far, these top tier Italian tanks look nice. Acceleration is okay. Turret rotation is really good. But you notice that that there's a hump on the back. If you get somebody behind you, you won't be able to de-elevate your gun very well. Well, actually, it's not bad. That ain't half bad. It's not as bad as on the Abrams. That's not half bad. They designed that better than they did the Abrams. Can get the gun down. There you go. Oof. What about the reverse? 20, 25? That'll do. Yeah, this ain't half bad. What's this, 8.7? Did I say? Yeah, APDS is not a great shell, still. Yeah, 8.7. The APFSDS is obviously going to be the best shell you can get. I know you guys have been asking for the automatic, so let's go ahead and look at that. Tier 6, 9.0. Look at that thing. I wish I could hide this panel. Man. I can't believe how tall it looks. That's insane. A 0.6 second reload. 65 kilometers an hour. 70 millimeters on the hull. 25 in the turret. The X-ray has got ammo everywhere. That's an interesting configuration for the ammo here in the front. Man. You get blasted with a Hess shell? I mean, just a Hess shell. You're done. APFSDS right out of the gate. Who doesn't like that? And it's got good penetration. HE shell, 13 mils. Nothing too great there. Alright, we're going to buy all these modifications. And we're going to take this out on a test. For a test drive. Yes, yes. Hey, okay. Did we not have that, really? Stop. Just go away. No, we don't need that. I just want the performance upgrades. Just go away. We may actually be able to take out that thing. that we couldn't earlier. Alright, we got our auto. Why is it showing me this? Go away. Alright, let's take this out. Why is he golding everything? Because why not? It's free gold. So you only allowed 12 APF SDS shells, which is rather interesting. But the reload was 0.6 seconds, so it's almost automatic. Like literally, it's so fast you won't even notice it. So the pen's good. It's not as stable. The stabilizer is not as great as I imagined it would be. And then after you're out of APF SDS, it's down to just HE shells, which is not going to be especially useful. But APF SDS does what you would imagine it to. Turret rotates crazily fast. Wow, that didn't do anything. Wonder how thick that armor is on that thing. Can I pen it with the HE? I can. Okay. Got a hit with the HE shell somehow. All right, we gotta test this out. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, this will be okay. 12 rounds is not much, but you'll manage. HE's pretty good for taking on aircraft too. Wow. 8.3 M60A1. I gotta see this thing. So you get your smoke launchers. I do like the design of it, but this is one expensive tank. It's $50, I believe. With a 105mm, 8.7 second reload, -10 gun depression, armor. Everything about it looks the same as the regular M60. And it's premium, of course. 400mm of penetration on the heat FS. Standard rangefinder. At 8.3. I believe you get a stable. Does this have a stabilizer? I don't remember. I don't believe it does. Yeah, 0.6 second reload on the automatic. It does have a stabilizer. Okay. So it's basically the M60 AOS. That's why it has the A3 battle rating. Okay, that makes more sense. We have a battle rating 8.0 SPAA, quad 25mm. Man, that hull is interesting. Reminds me of a M163. 29 mils or 38 mils of aluminum. 29 on the hatch. 44. Wow, 44 on the side. It's thicker there. Interesting. Just a 3-man crew. This guy here, back here, browsing Reddit. That's what they did back then, right? 3 mils of pen. 3 mils of pen. And here we go. 110 millimeter pen APDS shells. And it's all APDS. Guarantee you, they put a limit on how much you can take. Guarantee it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be a big fan of this. 3.3 SPA. Get a single 20 millimeter cannon. Again with the weird looking. I don't even know how to describe this thing. They have a number of vehicles that look like this. It's absolutely fascinating. 996 shots per minute. Alright. You've piqued my interest, Gaijin. Are there any new props or just jets? I'm gonna take a look at that. They sent, you know, War Thunder sent me a list of changes that they made. The problem was the list that they linked for the forums was not live yet. So, well, why send it to me? Alright, where's the plane? Here it is. Rotate the turret, rotate the turret. Okay, that's pretty fast firing. Sadly, I can't hurt the broadside of a barn. It's fast though. It's stupidly maneuverable. I can see this thing getting tipped over on Corellia like every time. Seriously. It wants to flip at this speed. It really does. Yeah, this is stupidly agile. That could be fun. 115 kilometers an hour is what they're predicting, but I don't know. As we've seen in some of those other tests, getting to that speed is almost impossible on that particular map anyway. Battle rating 1.3 SPA. An open top. Wow, that looks fun. That looks fun. But it looks like you would die immediately from aircraft fire. .500 shells or 500 shots per minute. 84 kilometers an hour from. Wow. Look at all that fuel tanks. That's a lot of jerry cans. Now we got the tank destroyers at 1.0. Every time I see that Tiger placeholder image, I get just a little bit excited about seeing a Tiger. 7.2 reload. It's an anti-tank rifle. Not much armor, as can be expected. Boy, that's imagine being those two guys. That's some close quarters. That looks cramped. Holy moly. What kind of penetration do we get? 29. That looks super cramped in there. Got 1.3 medium tank. The M11/39. Look at all the little ammos in there. It's firing a 37mm Vickers. Not much in the way of armor, of course. When I'm grinding these trees out, I tend to overlook these early tanks in order to get to the tier 3, 4, and 5 tanks, and I don't remember a lot of the French tanks very well. I just try to get right past them. 47mm cannon, -12 gun depression, 6.5 second reload. The open top, susceptible to obviously dying from aircraft. A lot of ammo here on the side, and just a 2-man crew. Man, that's gonna die so easily. 39mm of penetration on the HE shell. Then you get an HE shell with 4 mils of pen. Then an APBC shell. Yeah, I can't read apparently today. Looks kind of cute. Next up we have this little guy. Man, are they all gonna be like boxy tank destroyers? That's a big looking gun though. And yet it doesn't have much penetration. 32. You get smoke. 36. You get heat with, there we go, 100 mils. That's a tier 3 modification though to get the heat. It looks like a surprisingly big gun, but maybe it's a low velocity kind of a thing. Here we got a 75mm. Looks like a longer gun, but similar design. Yep, 3 poor guys crammed in here. Still get the heat option. Battle rating 3.0. -12 gun depression though is pretty darn good. Are these all basically the same thing? 3.3 battle rating. Oh my god, this is gonna be like grinding 500,000 stugs. What is the armor on this? 50mm of armor. This is gonna bounce some shots because of the slopage. 80-degree slope, that's crazy. Lots of ammunition in here. 6.5 second reload. Is it still the same pen? No, it does get better pen. 75mm of pen. I think it's 100mm pen. Heat. That's a tier 1 modification at least. So we're getting somewhere. But it looks like we got a whole family of these things. The M43, my god, they all gonna be like this. It looks like it. Here we go, battering 4.3. This looks like, this is, man. This is starting to remind me of the tortoise, but a squashed down one. Like a really short tortoise. With no armor, unlike the tortoise. At least the ammo's all the way in the back and not up front. Let's take a 75 millimeters and 100 millimeter pen each. Man, that's a lot of these M43s. There's another one. It's got bigger gun or bigger shell. 147 millimeter. All of a sudden, we jumped from. It almost doubled, nearly doubled. You don't get heat anymore. What armor does this have? 25. That's awful. That is awful. All right, we gotta take a look at this. Man, that is so short, too. Get your gun down. Boy, it bounces quite a bit from the recoil. This is going to be stupidly difficult to see on some maps because of how short it is. I hadn't thought of that initially. Cover this thing in bushes. Ridge camp somewhere. Poland or wherever you're going to be battling. You're going to be almost impossible to see it. With the exception, of course, of this camouflage. That's something I want to take a look at, see what other camouflage options this has. Wow. So it does get APCBC, which is awesome. Let me take a look at the reverse before I leave. Reverse is -4, so it's like a Panther. Looks like a pizza delivery, yeah. Well, it is the Italians, what do you expect? Oh, we do have some options, though. Man, that is ugly. That is not much better. Wow. And winter spotted. Well. Can't say I'm a big fan of any of those in particular. But at least there are options. And I saw earlier a comment about where's the M4 Tipo or whatever. It's right here at 4.7. It's an interesting looking Sherman. It's got slightly better penetration than the Super Sherman that the French has. I think it's going to get a lot of play. I think I looked it up, and the Super Sherman gets 167 at max penetration here, where this one gets 171. It's very similar, and you don't have quite as easy to pen or obvious to pen parts right here, but it's not a greatly different Sherman. I mean, it's still not got great armor. 4.7, it's gonna be pretty easy to kill. It'll be a good tank. Anyway, back to the ridiculous lineup of tank destroyers. Oh. Talk about no armor. I'm not too thrilled about this. It's kind of slow, and the penetration is not all that great. It's not. It's worse than the one we looked at earlier, and you're kind of exposed just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those tanks that gets played a lot for me. Next up, we have the M36B1 at 6.7. So you basically have an M36 turret on a Sherman chassis. Interesting. 9.7 second reload, -10 gun depression, 63 mils of armor. I would be curious to see this on a super shirt or on the jumbo hull. Man, that is loaded with ammo. You get 170 on the APCBC shell, but you get not one, but two APCR shells to unlock. Your standard stock AP shell has 192, which is plenty for a Tiger II, which you'll be seeing a lot of at 6.7. But of course, you're going to be wanting to flank with this as much as possible and get the M82 so that you can side shot those tanks. You do get a smoke shell, but there's no smoke launchers, so pretty standard M36, but potentially a better tank. And nothing else in that line. Premium wise, we got the Limoncello, which is on the live server. We have interesting. Didn't see this one. So we have another tank destroyer. I think they showed this on the dev blogs, but I just never took any interest in it. 75mm armor. -13-second reload. -10 gun depression. 38 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I don't intend to buy that myself. Yeah. That's already on the live server, and we've already checked that out. Aviation-wise, they don't have really anything. I did show those, the RE2001 CN and the SM91, which was a lot like a P-38 Lightning, in my opinion. Well, it's got 6 20 mils. That's crazy. And a single 20 mil in the turret. I think that's all. Is there a new French fighter? Let's take a look. I haven't seen the dev server patch notes, so I don't know what is new here. Am I missing something? I'm not seeing anything new. Yeah, I don't see anything new here, but I could be overlooking something. Let's take a look at the U.S. We are getting the Bradley. Let's take a look at Army. I'm still so far away from this. Anyway, the Bradley at 8.7 light tank. Man, that is interesting. I do like that camouflage, though. Wish I could unlock that on all American tanks. Not a big fan of the late winter ones. I want just a white camouflage. So armor, we're not really expecting much here, are we? Not really. .110mm pen with the APDS shells, which will also have some high explosive incendiary tracer shells mixed in. And your 127mm tow missile has maximum penetration of 630. So that's pretty good. Do I have to unlock everything in order to get the missile? I don't think I do. I think that's available to me right from the get-go. No armor is best armor, yeah. Okay, so it's got incredible initial acceleration. I don't know if you noticed, but the tow missiles used to be mounted up top, but they rotated downwards on the side of the turret. You know what? Let's. That's interesting. Alright, I want to go back. I want to research some modifications really quick. I want to get the APDS shells unlocked. This won't take too long. Ah, darn it. Alright, now let's go back out. We should have access to the mostly APDS shells here. Yeah, the ATGM is fast, yeah. But you notice that the zoom on the optics is not very good. You zoom out to the T64, and that is just terrible. I thought I had 6 ATGMs when I spawned in last time. Now I have 2. You see that? It has to deploy. So when you're on the move, that's interesting, it goes away. When you stop to fire, it deploys. Now it's ready to be fired. Oh my god, I'm awful.
No!
I really thought I had 6 last time, but apparently I only get 2 ATGMs. Yeah, we have to stop in order to fire. This is kind of disappointing, but not a huge drawback. This is the slight drawback, though. We have to wait for it to deploy. But it is fast. The 2 ATGM limit, though, could be a problem. I'm not too sure how I feel about the Bradley right now. It is fast, though, I will say that. It is very fast. It's got I would say, an average profile size. And of course, the 8 PDS shells just eliminate everything if you get a nice flank on them. And that's at 8.7. You want to see the T-72. You got a reload rate of 8 seconds, -6 gun depression. Interesting. Of course, you get the composite armor all the way around the turret. Multiple layers. Some serious composite armor. What about the shells? What kind of shells do we get? APF SDS at 310. We get a lot of shells. 440. 383. Heat-fast at 440. And of course, HE, which is great for detonating a lot of tanks from the side and by shooting them right under the gun. I'm surprised that we didn't... I'm surprised by a lot of things with Russians. Tier 6. But I'm glad we got this. I was surprised that they didn't split up the T-64B and the BV. It's really quiet. The engine seems really quiet to me. I haven't given the Russians a lot of love on my channel here lately, at least at top tier. I've been mostly playing the A1A1 L44, which is a lot of fun. I don't think whether or not the T-72 is a success or not, I think it's not so much how good it is, but rather the fact that it adds to the lineup of Russia at 9.3 plus. Because what they need is more tanks, not just one really good tank like the Abrams does. I mean, with the Americans, you get multiple Abrams. If you have the XM1, that's almost like a baby Abrams. You get the MBT and XM803. You get a heck of a lineup, in addition to the aircraft and helicopters. We got to look at the American aircraft now, right? And that they didn't give me this. That's unfortunate. That's okay. Purchase it, yes, please. The F-100D. Damn. You know, it's one thing to see a screenshot of this. It's another thing to see it actually in your hangar. Universal, air targets, armored targets, stealth. As far as weapons goes, you get, holy moly, you get everything. You get AIM 9Bs. You get 4 of them. Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. You get 4 1,000-pound bombs. You get a little bit of everything. Just look at all the stuff you get to unlock. The grind on this is going to be crazy. I'm not even going to test the rockets, because I don't have anyone to fly up against. You skipped Japan? Yeah, I just haven't gotten to Japan yet. Here's the cockpit. Look at that acceleration. Why didn't I upgrade? Because you don't have to if you're going to do a test flight and you choose the upgraded version, basically. So the acceleration is not as fast as the MiG. You get a lot more ammunition, though, than the MiG. The MiG had, what, 140 shells? There are a lot of memes going around on the internet because of the way this plane is designed. People are comparing it to a catfish, which is rather funny to me. There's also a vacuum that people have made pictures of. It is very fast, I'll admit that. But the acceleration is not as fast as the MiG. Without someone in the dogfight, it's kind of pointless to be testing that. I just more than anything, I wanted to look at the cockpit. Looked awfully good. Here's the premium F-86, F-35. You get 16 HVARs and 2 1,000-pound bombs as options. And the HVARs are nothing spectacular. Basic 36mm of penetration. But of course, it's a premium Sabre, so that you can grind your F-100D rather quickly. Someone said Japan, so let's go ahead and take a look at Japan. I don't know if they got any new aircraft. The dev server patch notes were not available to me when I went live. Let's see. Any new tanks? Here. The Type 89 light tank at 8.0. Finally something else to research. Looks a lot like the Warrior. Well, a little bit like the Warrior. 201 shots per minute, 1.3 seconds reload. Look at all the ammo in the back. It's got some up here as well, down here. So it's like they're stashed away in tiny little bundles. Modifications. APIT and HEIT. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock these ammunition options We'll take it out for a test flight. So we get... Damn, I forgot to look at the ATGMs here. And they don't show up. Okay. I'm surprised that can pen frontally. So you don't get a whole lot of ammunition with this. At least you don't have to stop to fire it like with the Bradley. So it's got that going for it. It's fast. Oh, it's reloading the rockets still, or the ATGMs. I tried to aim that low and blow up the ammunition. It's still burning though. There we go. Alright, so should I do... I'm gonna do the reverse. How does that reverse? 15. Of course I'm gonna run into the dead tank. You know what? Reverse is actually pretty good. .40 in reverse. There are a lot of tanks that struggle to get that in forwards. Alright, that is... I believe that's all of Japan. I haven't checked the patch notes yet. Someone asked for British. Let's go ahead and take a look at the British. I think the only thing they got was the Challenger Mark III at 9.7. Man, that looks interesting. This looks so sexy looking. Holy moly. I haven't driven British top tier in a long time now. May need to give that another go. Looks really interesting to me. Let's take a look at the shells. First you get the standard L23 with 410, and you get the A1 version of 415. Hash and smoke shells, laser rangefinder, smoke grenades. Pretty standard options here. And again, don't pay any attention to the Tiger photos that you see on here. Those are just temporary. Camouflage options. Late desert, which it's going to take you 511 kills. Obviously, RB and Sim, each kill is doubled, That's gonna take a long time to unlock these. Winter and unicolor winter. Alright. I don't think there's a huge difference between the Mark II and the Mark III, but I could be mistaken. Oh, we also got the premium. Yeah, 8.7. I knew that was going to be 8.7. I just knew it. Holy shit. I didn't see all the extra machine guns on here initially. I suppose this is for pushing friendlies into the water or something, right? We would never do that. A lot of ERA on here. Do we need... No, let's not do this. We don't need to do the protection analysis. That is a lot of ammunition in there. I like that it gets smoke launchers. I like that it gets ERA. 2 12.7s and 2 7.62s. 10 smoke grenade launchers. And 20 other smoke grenade launchers. What the hell? This is a lot of smoke. So you get APDS, which it doesn't have great pen. Hesh, HeatFS at 400, smoke shells, and APFS DS at 385. I want to see how this thing drives. Is the AMX-10 not in the dev store? I don't know. I haven't looked. Man, that's great for marking tanks. I want to see how fast this thing felt, how agile it was. And it reminds me, it doesn't feel that much different than Centauro Mark 10. Maybe a little bit faster. Maybe. Rotation speed on the turret is okay. Got good stabilizer. Rotation may be a little bit slower than I expected, actually. Just a little bit. Oh, I like that. Individual smoke launches. So you don't expend all of your smoke when you hit the smoke launcher button. That I like. Yes, sir. Okay. What about the reverse? Anything great about the reverse? -11, which on this train is actually not bad. Might have to give this a shot. You guys want the T-72 upgraded? All right, we'll do it. We will buy all the upgrades. We will look at the armor. After all, the gold is free, so might as well just go crazy, right? Got ESS. It's got everything you would imagine. It adds 800 kilograms to the tank. And only a rangefinder, not a laser rangefinder. That's... I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I still don't have the BMP2 done researching. How sad is that? That's why you haven't seen a video on the BMP2 yet. There. Spaded to the T-72. Now, let's take a look at this thing. Did it not work? Wasn't it supposed to have additional armor or something? Like, am I just stupid or something? Let's put it in the lineup. Is it? Somehow I expected more armor on here. Interesting. Low probability of penetration. Possible. Possible, yeah. So it's not much of an upgrade, really. Unless I'm just not understanding. Take it to reverse speed. We can do that. Let's go ahead and crew it up. Give it, wow, 1 million. Turret is bugged in the depth. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Wouldn't be the first thing to be bugged in the dev server, would it? -4. We flying, boys. It's like a panther. That is just... that is pretty awful. But yeah, all these tanks, all these vehicles feel really fast at top tier Russia. Well, decently fast. So, maybe the ERA armor on here is not working correctly. I'm going to check my email. Just hang tight, guys. Alright, I'm back. I forgot that the British also get an airplane. The Javelin. Mark 9. Got 4 30mm Aiden cannons. Absolutely enormous looking aircraft. Absolutely enormous looking. He gets 4 Fire Streak air-to-air missiles. The 30 mils don't have much penetration, but that's not really what they were used for. I'm gonna go into the test flight just to see the cockpit. Don't have very many fuel options. 5 minutes or 18. Show the T62 in a test drive. Did anything change on the T62? So every time I try to go into the cockpit, it just shows me the that view there. So unfortunately, the cockpit view is not working. So no cockpit, no point in watching. Germany, please. Did Germany get anything new? I mean, I thought we looked at Germany already. Now you got me wondering if I missed something. You want to see the MiG-15? Yeah, we can take a look at that. It's aviation. At 9.0. It's a fascinating looking aircraft. Or, you know, these little extensions. Let's see. You get 6 100 kilogram bombs, or 4 250s, or 2 500s, or 48 S5Ks, which have a maximum penetration of 150, which is pretty crazy. Or these ones, which only have maximum penetration of 10. No, doesn't that look interesting? That looks like it would really weigh it down a lot. How much does that add to the model? Only 174 kilograms. But takes off almost 170 kilometers an hour from the max speed. Also, Great Britain had a Meteor Mark 8. I forgot the Reaper at 9.0. Damn, this looks good. Just wish the skins were in higher resolution. As far as weaponry goes, you get a number of bomb and rocket options. 16 RP3s to go along with 2 1,000-pound bombs. Or you can go with 24 RP3s. What does that look like? That's all. They're even in the middle? Well, we gotta look at this in the flight. I just want to fire some of these off. See how it looks. Because that is a lot of rockets. Obviously this is going to be geared towards tank RB. Or tank combat in general, really. not just RB. It feels so heavy too. Has to be expected, I suppose. So the wings fire first, and then the ones under the fuselage begin to fire. Interesting. Yeah, all of a sudden it feels so much easier to turn once you get rid of all that added weight. Interesting, man. That's a sexy looking red camouflage too. How do you aim the rockets on the MiG-15? I suppose we could fly it out. Yeah, 48. We'll try it. The big Javelin boy. Yeah, we did look at that. We also looked at the Italian tanks, the Italian armored cars. Yeah, we already looked at those. I could look back at a couple of them though, because they were interesting. Some of them. I was surprised by the number of Italian tank destroyers. All basically modeled off the same thing. Let's get some speed up here. Is there a sonic boom implemented? Someone was asked that, a Gaijin employee, and they said that it would be, but I don't know that it's implemented yet on the dev server. Don't mind my dog. Oh, you see that reticle? There it is. There's your rocket reticle. Yeah, that's not difficult at all. Wow. You can't even zoom in and see the reticle. This could be challenging. You guys see how that looks? That's going to be challenging. You want me to look at Naval? Here's the problem with Naval. I don't have almost anything unlocked. Let's go back to Italian. I looked at some of these, or one of these actually. The RE21, these ones I didn't look at all of these. I forgot. A 2.7 battle rating, two 12.7s, two 7.1s, or 7.7s, excuse me. Problem is, almost all of these are basically the same thing. 3.0. You have the same armament. Italy really is a copy and paste nation. I believe I looked at this one. 3.3. You have the twin 20 mils and twin 12.7s. It's a very short looking aircraft from front to back to me. I'm not a big fan of the black camo, but This would be almost impossible to see if you were in sim and on a night map. And that's pretty much all of the Italians other than the SM91, which is, again, like a P-38 Lightning. Very similar in look. 620mm cannons, though, and one in the turret. No. Naval, someone asked for. This is my naval tree. Like, I have almost nothing played. So we can look at the USS Raleigh, which I think is new. I'm guessing it is, given that I have it. So let's take a look at it. Man, it's got a lot of guns. 6 inches, 2 6 inches, 8 3-inch Mark 10s. Let's just take it out for a test spin. At 5.3. AMX-10. I don't think the AMX-10 is on here. Or is it? Some people have said that it is, and some people have said that it's not. I'll have to look at that next time. Boy, big ship. I've only played like the tier 1 and early tier 2 stuff. Good job. Whoa. It feels so odd playing a ship this big and slow on a test on the test map. You know what, screw Navy. Sorry, if you guys like Navy, I'm sorry. I'm just not into it, to be honest with you. That's why I haven't really gotten past tier 2. Now, as for France, let's take a look at what we have for France. We have the AMX-10. I don't see it here. I would have imagined it would be a later tier vehicle. Yeah, MX-10 is not on here. Sorry, guys. And there really isn't much for French aircraft. Let's go to... Did Japan get anything aircraft related? I don't think that they did. I still haven't bought my F-40. I don't see anything new right off the bat. The only thing Army-wise was the Type 89, which is kind of like a Warrior. Do they have the T-30 in the dev server for America? You know, I thought that the T-30 was only going to be for for Italy, but maybe. I don't know. I don't see it here for US, and I didn't see it in the Italians. So it's not. It exists, but it's not in the tree yet. If that makes any sense. They have a tendency to do that with some vehicles. And we almost got this thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I wanted to look at this because of its reported speed. But I don't think we can reach that speed. We don't want that. This is the Fiat 6614 that we initially looked at, and we're curious because of the fact that it was reported to be able to go 100 kilometers an hour. I have my doubts about that. But just for the sake of curiosity, let's go ahead and purchase everything. We'll take it for a spin on the test map. Get everything unlocked. And again, set 6.7 battle rating, almost no armor whatsoever, but supposedly be able to go really fast. Imagine having this view at 40 kilometers an hour. Let's try to get on the road and go faster. It is definitely fast, no doubt about that. We've hit 50. Seems to be all we can hit though on this map. 53. We need to be on some paved roads though in order to hit that road, or in order to hit that speed of 100. Put on the brakes. Take a look at this gun. Yeah, that'll work. Reload is, I would say 10, 13 seconds, something like that. Close to 10 seconds. It's not bad. That was over. I haven't got this on a crew, so reload's awful. Waffly Joker with the $2. How did you get so much GE in the dev server? Because I'm a YouTuber, I'm in the content creator program, so they gave me a bunch of gold. I didn't actually buy this myself. That would be ridiculous to buy 5 million in gold. But thank you for the $2. Talking about automatic. Yeah, it is very similar to the Ontos. There were a few of these that were very much like that. I think it's, yeah, this one's got 2 barrels. So it's a bit like the, was it the Japanese Type 60? That's got 2. I wish these pictures weren't of the Tiger. This one, I'm really curious to see how this plays in a battle. It's got really good ammunition. Got heat fast at 300 millimeters. Of course, it's a light tank, so it gets the airstrike and the improved optics. So it's basically a scout vehicle. It's got a really good gun. It's 7.0. Tier 5. A promising vehicle, but no armor, as you can look. Hull armor of 15, turret armor of 8. I mean, that's... Well, this shows 15, but either way, it's not much. It really isn't very much. Let's take a look at... Was there anything else in aviation? We already looked at those. With the SM-81 or 91. Japan we looked at. Britain we looked at. We covered the Reaper. The Javelin we didn't look at explicitly because it's hard to gauge these just in a test flight. You need other people to fly up against. And we're not doing naval, so let's not deal with that. USSR. We looked at the MiG-19. If you didn't catch this earlier, does the MiG-19 have AA missile in the dev server? It has the R3S times 2, so it's air-to-air, 63 millimeters penetration, travels at 800 meters a second. Now, I didn't test the rockets, the missiles, but if you didn't catch it earlier on, the acceleration on this thing is insane. I'm going to take it out just for those of you who didn't see it earlier. Can you show the Bradley? Yes, I can. By the way, those of you who are new to the channel, if you hadn't subscribed, please do that. Once these vehicles are on the live server, I will be doing videos on them. Look at the speedometer just go crazy. Got far better acceleration than everything else that we tested today, like the F100 and the Javelin. The acceleration is just insane. Like even throughout the buggy flight miles that I've seen over the years, I've never seen anything that has acceleration even close to this. It's already at above 1100. It's crazy, and the guns sound pretty good too. I wonder what the air brake looks like. It doesn't extend all that far. Anyway, let's go back and we'll show the Bradley. Does Germany get a premium jet? No. Not yet anyway. But I'll show you here's the German air tree. See, there's really nothing above 5.7 for Germany in air as far as premiums. And they don't get any new tanks either that I'm aware of. Everything else is pretty much the same. I'm still researching the TAM for those of you who are curious. Let's go back to the Bradley since someone was asking about that. Let's go put it on a crew. Now we've run into some issues showing this because in my initial spawn with the Bradley, it gets 6 AT gems, but then each additional spawn it only gets 2. So there's some sort of bug with the dev server with respect to the Bradley's ammunition. Just letting you know that right out of the gate. And we are taking the best penetration, which is the APDS. It's mostly APDS, but it also gets an HEIT shell in there. The 105 M47, yeah, we can show that. you notice when we're perfectly stationary, the ATGM system is parallel with the ground. But as soon as we move, it begins to animate and it goes away. And we cannot fire until we come to a complete stop. And we cannot fire until it gets into the shooting position. Like, how silly is that? But the rockets, or the ATGMs, they're fast. Like, that's insane. Can we hit this T-64B? Another problem is the optics. The zoom is terrible on this thing. Pretty difficult to take out a T-64B. And like that, we're out of ammo. Even though the stat card shows 6. In here, you only get 2. So I don't know if the stat card's wrong, or if this is wrong. Not 100% sure, because I'm not that familiar with the Bradley myself. As far as the ammunition with the gun, it's not bad. It's got a fast fire rate, not as fast as, I don't think it's as fast as the BMP. The penetration's not great, not until you get along the side of some of these. But I think that's what this is going to be great for, is getting out on those flanks, side shooting your T-64s or Leopards. Leopards in particular are going to be susceptible to this, because again, you get 110 millimeters of penetration at almost point blank range. That's pretty darn effective, and it's fairly fast, fairly agile. It's pretty good. Can you go supersonic with the new jets? I'm not 100% sure how fast some of them will go, and I don't know how well the sonic boom actually comes through. I don't like to fly the sonic or those high-end jets right now because you can't fly them against someone. And someone asked for the 105 M47. So as far as I can tell, it's your standard M47 chassis and turret, but you just get the 105mm gun. You get an 8.7 second reload. Let me put this on a crew to see if that changes at all. .7 seconds now. .1. If we ace it, it'll probably be, what, 6.5 maybe? 6.7. So that's pretty good reload rate. On a 105mm gun. And as far as modifications, or excuse me, as far as the shells go, your first shell is APDS at 303 on a flat surface. Then it gets just even better as you get the upgrades. You get Hash, which is of questionable usefulness, and then eventually you get the Heat FS, which has 400 millimeters of penetration, and that's a tier 4 modification. You don't get any smoke shells, you don't get smoke launchers. It's a fairly bare bones M47, but with the 105mm gun. And at 7.7 battle rating in RB, tier 5. Talisman costs 2,300 gold, just in case you're curious about that. Show the AMX 10 RC. It's not in the tree though. At least not for when I downloaded the tree. We looked. It's in the CDK, but it's not actually in the tree itself. It's a lot like the T30, because there's a T30 heavy tank that is also in the CDK, but it's not in the tree itself. Someone keeps asking for early Italian. I would recommend going back earlier in the stream to watch the Italians, because I go through literally every single tree, or excuse me, every single tank in this tree. I mean, I could do this for hours, honestly, because there are so many vehicles. Anyone look at the helis with AA missiles counterparts yet? I don't know if those are implemented yet, are they? That's an interesting question. Like, do they have modifications that we have to research? I haven't gotten really anywhere in these helicopters yet, because I don't play very late top tier yet. They just don't interest me a whole lot. So no, I haven't looked at them yet. Can I show the Type 89? Sure. It's an 8.0. And it's a lot like the Warrior. 201 shots per minute, 1.3 second reload, 70 kilometers an hour max speed. It's an attractive looking vehicle. Armor is awful. 15 millimeters on the hull, 35 here in the turret. Although this shows 500 right in the matlet. That's gonna be interesting. Got ammunition kind of everywhere in little bundles. And here's the ATGM, 700 millimeters of penetration, which is pretty ridiculous. And then your best ammunition will be at the Tier 4 modification, which is all HVAP. I'll take that briefly out for a test drive. I joined late. Did I miss anything? You missed a lot, Jameson. Where have you been, man? I'm going to leave this up. Excuse me. This is what we've been live for 2 hours now. I'm going to leave this up in its entirety. I recommend going back if you missed anything and looking through it all, because I went through everything that I could find. Let's take a look at how fast this rocket is, or the ATGM is. It's pretty darn fast. Japan gets something useful. It gets 6 ATGMs, although if I remember correctly, it has to reload in between every 2. See, fire 2, then it has to reload for what, almost 10 seconds, and it reloads another 2. I presume into each one of the one of the firing things. I don't know what the hell those are even called. There we go. We're back up. Of course, the zoom on this is pretty awful. Try to get the hull. There we go. Did you cover the British? If so, what time? I don't remember. I haven't been keeping timestamps on anything, because we kind of bounce around sometimes when people say to check this out or check that out, and I haven't gone in any particular order. I did take a look at the British. The British don't have much. See, the fire rate on the Type 89 is pretty good. Again, much like the Bradley, you're going to want to flank your tanks and shoot them with this, and you're going to have pretty good results. And use the ATGMs for those longer range engagements. Just remember, you have to reload after every 2 shells, or after every 2 ATGMs. I'll go over British briefly. British get the, if you're interested in aviation, you get the Meteor Mark 8 Reaper, which has all these RP3s. I mean, it's a ridiculous number of RP3s. 24 RP3s. Or you can go for bomb options, or you can go for a mixture of RP3s and bombs. It's pretty useful. Well, it might be useful. I just think it's really interesting that so many of them are mounted on the fuselage. And as far as which order they fire, you get one from each wing fires at once, and after the wing-mounted ones are gone, then the ones that are mounted under the fuselage begin to fire. And that's, again, a premium Tier 5 at 9.0. Then we get the Javelin at 9.7 battle rating. It gets 4 30mm Aiden cannons. So all 4 cannons are here mounted in the wings. It's a very large, interesting looking aircraft. We took it up briefly, but we didn't test fly it very long because it's not interesting to fly, just a test flight. It's not nearly as interesting as playing against someone else. Now, as far as tank-wise, they could get the premium 8.7 battle rating, Tier 6. It's an Israeli Centurion, basically. Gets a lot of Blazer ERA. You get the smoke grenades. You get 3 50 cals here on the top, as well as 2 50 cals rather, and 2 7.62s. And it's firing the 105mm cannon. And yes, there is actually an Israeli flag here, which I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing them before. I don't know if they did that with the Magok or not. New armor. It's basically like a Centurion Mark 10 that's been upgraded with ERA. I like the look of it. It's reasonably mobile. It's got a good gun. It does get APFS DS, in case you're curious. Of course, there are other options. You do have smoke shells, HeatFS, HESH, and APDS. But most people would be using the APFS DS shell, as it's easier to aim, and it has really good penetration. And all this at battle rating 8.7. They don't have very many camouflage options, however. You just get the desert late and a very basic winter camouflage. And then you get the Centurion, excuse me, the Challenger Mark III, which is not a huge upgrade from the Mark II, but it does look good. I will say that. It just looks really beefy. All these layers of armor. You just know that it's going to protect you against some shots. You get the same rounds as the Challenger Mark II. You shot L23A1, and you get a laser rangefinder, smoke grenades, smoke shells. All it's at a battle rating of 9.7, and not a great list of camouflage. It's not as great as the Americans tend to get. Protection analysis on the upper or lower front plate. Yeah, we can take a look at that. Any particular vehicle you want me to put it up against? Let's go USSR T-64B. What is their best shell? Or most? We'll put it up against this one at 1,000 meters. Ricochet in a couple spots, but it's mostly possible. Okay, so it's not going to go here, but most of these spots, a lot of these spots. Okay, so turret is pretty much a no-go, as can be expected. It's soft around the gun itself. This area around here in the cheek is soft, but this cheek here is pretty solid because of the armor. It's a pretty strong tank. You're welcome, Jake. Can you check what rank 5 aircraft get air-to-air missiles? Attempt number 7. Did any of them get them? I don't know. I haven't. You know, that's a good question. Because here's the thing: none of these. I have almost every aircraft spaded. So all of these are already spaded, which means that they're not getting any new upgrades, right? That's how I'm kind of just going by this with a quick glance. Spaded these. This I never even played, I don't think. Spaded. The FJ still stock. This one just needs bombs. Germany. Does Germany get anything? Spaded. Like, everything is spaded here so far. Except for the ones that are completely stock. Like, even the MiG 15s and 17s, they're not getting anything new. I don't think I've played this. No, this is completely stock. So far, I'm not seeing anything that's gotten any new modifications, and I would imagine that they would be added as a modification. You know, if they introduce a new missile, a new air-to-air missile. Like, these are just HVARs, unguided, for the F-40, and that takes us to Italy. I don't think, did they have anything? No, just the standard Hydras and the bombs for the G91. Same here as well. F-84G is spaded. France. I don't think they're going to give them to the Votour. No, these are just the standard Matras. These are all just the standard rockets. Yeah, standard. F-84's just got the bombs and the Tiny Tims and the HVARs. So my guess is that they are not in yet. .7 BRs, yeah. 7.7 is going to be less popular here pretty soon. Can you go into a custom battle and try the AIM-9? What was the AIM-9 on? Do you remember? I'm completely drawing a blank right now. What plane has the AIM-9? You have to refresh my memory, Michael. Try out the new British premium tiny boat. I'm not gonna do any of the naval right now. Super Sabre, okay. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I gotta put that in the crew, of course. Man, that looks interesting. Mike Goes Boom has got a battle going. Slick B does as well. Let's see what this one is all about. Let's see what Mike Goes Boom is doing. Did I showcase the shell ejection on the T-72? No, I did not. Oh, I don't have the weapons set. Oh, man. I don't have all those buttons selected. Controls, rather. Fire air-to-air missile. Let's go. No. A weapon lock. Shoot. A lot of people are flying the F-100. Whoa, I didn't intend to hit the flaps. Hit the wrong button. I can hear the sonic booms in the background. I'm just fat fingering everything right now. Got a defensive fly in a custom battle. Bleeding a lot of speed right now. Trying to find someone to go head on with, but I can't seem to. Jesus. I don't know, I'm hitting the buttons so it's not firing. So, I don't know. I don't have enough of the buttons configured, or it's just not working. I don't know. I'm gonna go back to the tanks. Someone asked for the T-72. I don't know what's going on there. The shell ejection. Keep the circle on the enemy for one behind them to lock. I tried to do that. Oh yeah. Shoots it out the back, or the top of the turret there. Can't zoom in. That's kind of neat, but honestly, if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have noticed it, or I wouldn't have really cared, to be honest with you. Like, would they really go to the extent of piling up a little mound of them for someone who's just sniping on the spot? Like, I doubt that. I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny. Gaijin's level of detail is surprising sometimes. That's funny. Yeah, I would not have done that. You should add shell ejection to every tank in the game. But guys, I've been live for 2.5 hours. I've looked at everything that I can find. We've tried to find some of the other vehicles that they haven't put on, but haven't been able to find the T30 or the AMX-10 RC, I believe it was. But I'm gonna call it here for today. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed what you've seen or have laughed along the way, please hit that subscribe button. I will be doing videos on the live server once this goes on the live server. And if they offer another dev server with some new vehicles, I will bring that to you here on the channel. Anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, or today's live stream. If you did, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Take care guys.